Alright, so we're back to definition heavy geometry. This is unit 3. We're talking about lines and angles. Okay, now these types of lines we will be using parallel lines and transversals and everything. So we need to write out some definitions. Okay, so you have your two parallel lines. I'm going to use a different color for our transversal. Transversal is just a line that goes through two parallel lines, not at a parallel angle. Okay, now if we wanted to say that two lines are parallel without like writing it, you know, because mathematicians are notoriously lazy, you'd write these two arrows. Okay? Alright, now this can also be for non-parallel lines, but honestly, we really that's not. Yeah, it's you could say like, oh, these could be for non-parallel lines. You could have a transversal and everything. Yeah, that's true, but we don't want to. Okay, so now cutting it through here, we have four pairs. Actually, 8 different angles. Okay, we have angle 1 up here, angle 2, 3, and 4, angle 5. 6, 7, and 8. We'll talk about those in a sec. Okay, so first off, there's some definitions you do need to know. Getting the measurements is going to be a lot easier than knowing the definitions, okay? Alright, now in order to understand the definitions, we're going to call this the interior of the angle, interior. And this is going to be the exterior. Okay, and same thing here. So this is going to be the exterior. Alright, and if you think about that, that's going to make a whole lot of sense. Okay. Alright, so alternate exterior angles. And I'm going to write them out next to them. So let's move this over a little bit. Okay. That's going to be like angles 1 and 7. Also angles 2 and 8. Okay. And just for clarification, that means that those are congruent. Okay, so when you have alternate exterior angles, you're going to have congruent angles. Okay, and angles 1 and 7 are going to be those, and I'm going to use colors for those. So we're going to use red. So angles 1, angle 7, angle 2, and angle 8. So these are just those ones that I'm talking about. Okay. All right, alternate interior. If you're guessing at home that means the angles on the inside, you are correct. And what specific angles are we talking about? We are talking about angles 4 and 6. Now do not mix up the two. And angles 3 and 5. Okay, and those is also congruent. Okay. And I'm going to use blue for those ones. Okay, so angles 4 and angle 6 are congruent. Angles 3 and angles 5 are congruent. And these are also the reasons why. Okay? Alright. Corresponding angles. Now these ones are going to be a little bit different. Corresponding angles are going to be angles that end in the same spot. So angles 1 and angle 5, angle 2, and angle 6, angle 3, and angle 7, and angle 4, and angle 8. Those are all going to be the same, and those are also going to be congruent. Okay, so blue is alternate interior. We will use green. So 1 and 5, they're in the same spot on the other line. 2 and 6, 3 and 7, and 4 and 8. Okay, so those are corresponding. Okay, parallel lines we just talked about, so we're all good on that. Parallel planes we'll talk about when we get to three-dimensional in the next slide. Alright, same side interior. I used to call this something different and stuff, but same side interior angles is something huge that you need to know. Okay, same side interior are not congruent. Okay, they're going to add up to 180. So same side interior, they're going to add up to 180. So angles 4 plus 5 equals 180 degrees. Oh man, where's that degree symbol? There it is. Oh, 2, 4, 8. There we go. 180 degrees. And angles 3 plus angle 6 equals 180 degrees. Okay, so that means that they're supplementary. Let me move this down. There we go. Okay, so these two add up to 180. Okay, and these two add up to 180 as well. Okay, so as long as you know those, you should be good. Alright, so these are parallel lines. Alright, our transversal is right here. Okay, so you have your definitions and everything. Alright, transversal we've covered, parallel lines, parallel planes, we need to go three-dimensional. So this is two-dimensional. Here's the thing I like to also tell my students is, if the angles look the same when you're dealing with parallel lines and transversals, this is the only time parallel planes and transversals and everything. So okay, so we need to draw a box for this one just so we have this understanding. Okay, now how do you draw a box like I'm doing so masterfully? You draw your one side of the figure, and then you draw all kinds of parallel lines. These parallel lines have to be parallel with each other for this to work and look really good. Okay, but there's our point. And then you draw the same two-dimensional object, but off to the side a little bit at an angle, and then you connect the vertices, and that's a really good way to do it. I like to just, you know, draw it as is. So let's say we got A, B, C, D up here. Okay, E, F, G, and H. Okay, so we have all this stuff. So we could say parallel planes. So parallel planes. Oops, I'm like yelling it at you. Parallel planes would be AB, DC, and GH, EF, however you want to say it. Or you could have AB, GH, and so the left side and the right side, this would be DC, FE, the front and the back. So AD, GF, and BC, HE. Okay, so that would be your parallel planes. So the front and the back, the left and the right, the top and the bottom. Okay, now parallel lines, there's a lot of them, so I'm only going to go over a couple. Parallel lines, just remember they don't cross. So I'm going to use one set. So parallel lines with AB are, so line AB, if you were to pretend it would go on forever, are DC, GH, and also FE. Remember, if you were to draw a line straight through the middle, and connect these two and have a plane here, you would also still fulfill the requirements. Okay, and you could see that for everything else. So parallel to CD are AB, GH, and FE. Okay, so those are parallel. All right, perpendicular or intersecting, pretty easy. I want to talk about skew. That's the tough one. So skew lines do not intersect, nor do they become parallel with it. So they're not going in the same direction. Okay, so this one's huge for you guys to know. So let's go ahead and delete that back one. Let's delete the front one. There we go. Okay, so skew. Let's take skew lines. Skew. Really can't do any skew planes with this, but we can do skew lines. So we're going to do AB. All right, so skew with AB are CE, DF, GF, and HE. Okay, so those are skew. So in other words, if I use some colors to highlight this, let's go red. Okay, so my original line is red. Okay, skew with that would be lines that are neither parallel nor intersect. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I would not use DC because that is parallel with it. I would not use BH because even though that isn't parallel, that intersects AB. Okay? That's pretty much it for all the time I've got. I will talk to you guys later, and have a great day.